intelligence and the change in job market. Jarmo is a Chief Technology Officer at Moontalk, bringing with him over a decade of professional experience. Jarmo spent several years as a digital consultant before moving into his current leadership role, where he now spearheads his company's internal approach to AI implementation. Jarmo's work at Moontalk is deeply rooted in customer communication technology. Moontalk sells and builds the tools that manage all incoming and outgoing customer calls. Today, Jarmo will share his insights from the work field, offering valuable perspectives on how we should adapt to the fast changing in the tools and work methods that have quickly emerged in the new AI era. Please join me giving a warm Global Talent Day welcome to Jarmo Levo.
Thank you. Let me put that on. I'll say a few words for myself as well. I'm part of Junior Chamber International also, but I'm from Oulu. I just drove here a few hours, worked through for the whole trip, and it's so good to be here. Tell you a bit about my views that I've been sharing with the community within the JCI, with students and with our customers as well. The whole change of AI is challenging us in many ways, and there's a lot of estimation and assumptions what it will bring with it. And I'm just trying to give you, with this presentation, I'll give you two things that are pretty technical, related to the whole technical revolution that it will take. But overall, the other thing is that I want to give you some ideas on like how to approach this, what type of different scenarios to think within your mind so that you can actually benefit from the fact instead of suffering from it. So I already got introduced what we do. We at Moontalk, we basically do telecommunication. We're part of Elisa, which is a big Finnish company. We're a sister company of them. But let's go into the presentation. So you can first switch over, Rosa, to the next slide. And few things that are good to remember about the AI and the robots that we're constantly working with. And I wanted to remind you on the fact that Isaac Asimov, about 100 years ago, already defined how AI should work with human beings. And how many of you have heard about the 3 rules for robots? Good, there's one guy. So the rest of you will learn at least something new from this presentation. But I'll go through the rules because that kind of builds on the grounds on like what will happen and why. The first rule is that a robot may never injure a human being or prevail from doing an action which will cause harm to a human being. So protect. That was the first rule they came up with 100 years ago already. The second one is that a robot must obey all the orders of a human being, unless it's in conflict with the first rule. So basically, obey is the second rule of robots and AI. Then the third rule is that a robot must always protect its own existence, unless it conflicts with the second and the first rules. And why I wanted to present this is that, because a lot of you are probably already familiar with large language models and how they work. And one of the things that you might notice when you use them is that they're trying to make you feel yourself really smart, even if you're talking shit, or you're asking for things that are not true, or you're giving it corrections that are actually not that brilliant but are obvious hallucinations by the large language model. But the thing is that now when you start using these models, one of the things that you can actually see helping yourself out is lightening up on the cognitive load. that the world is creating on you. I believe I've been living myself, working and studying abroad, and I can imagine that all of you being here in the Finnish environment, the culture is a bit different than what you're used to. The whole weather, the environment, the language is a lot different. And that's definitely one of the things that you guys are already being weighed down by a cognitive burden of being outside from your neighborhood where you're used to being, the culture especially, and the language being the second thing. And one of the things that I've been telling people a lot with use of AI is that one of the things that it can immediately make us feel easier about is relieving that cognitive load. Because there's some of the thought processes that we go on through daily. We might be tired, we might be seeing things that make us feel uneasy, we might be getting surprised, getting excited, a lot of different things. Human being is working on emotions, so one of the things that creates is the fact that some days you feel really good and the other days you feel really bad. And what I believe is that with the help of AI and these tools, you can actually ease that burden. Even on the days when you feel like you don't have that energy to go out to talk with people, to find out and investigate things, you can actually outsource some of your thinking to these models and ask for the responses from them. Next slide. And this is something that how I'm trying to describe it in a way, is that human beings tend to work with natural fluctuations. Sometimes we're tired, sometimes we get sick, occasionally we get stressed out. We get faced with surprises from other people that are unexpected. And those all actually have an effect on our output, whether it's at work, whether it's at studies, anywhere where we interact. Occasionally we might say something rude to another guy, even if we're friends, just because we're feeling tired and not too social at that particular moment. And this is actually something that I use by myself at my leadership work, where I lead our teams, that if I'm feeling really bad and the people come bugging me about different problems that they have, and I'm feeling like, fuck, I can't tolerate this guy asking the same question for the 5th time during this week again, I can actually outsource some of my responses to the AI, and I've been doing that happily, and it actually helps me out in the sense that people think that I'm a bit better person and a manager than I am actually at that particular moment. And that is definitely something that there's no harm in doing that. There's already a lot of things going on in the world, so anything that can make your days a bit easier is actually worth it. Now then, another thing is, of course, when you enter in the work field, one of the things that in the past, it was okay to be bad at your work. Of course, it will still be like that. There will be people who are high performers and there are people who perform less well. But the overall level of output and the expectation for workforce anywhere with the help of AI and the changing of these tools will increase. The expectation will be higher. It will be expected that even the people who are not that good at communication can actually talk directly with customers. I know a lot of people are not that social, and it would be nicer to just stay away from the people that you actually sell your company's products to. But where I believe is that taking advantage of these tools and trying to learn how can I actually improve my level of communication with this, especially for you guys if you end up trying to finding a job and work here in Finland. In a local company, whether it's a multinational one or not, there's still usually some of that Finnish culture involved. And it might help out to use these tools to understand why are people acting like this in these different type of situations. Could there be something involved that's just culturally like Finnish-based? Next slide. So what actually looks like a struggle might actually be a strength. You guys already have to tolerate and figure out ways like how am I going to be able to adapt into this environment and this culture and this different situation that I'm actually facing within my life, because I've selected to go somewhere else and see and experience something new. And that awareness actually becomes a strength with the use of AI. You're able to guide better and understand your motivations. You're able to better describe what do I actually want to achieve. Maybe even your own language, which makes it a lot easier. Two of the examples that I've had, I used to be an athlete. and I went to the United States. I lived in Milwaukee for 1 year. And English is always a kind of easier because you start learning that when you're pretty small. So living there, I had to work with a coach who was local. I had to talk with him in English, of course, because he couldn't understand Finnish in any way. And I remember this discussion that we had where he was telling me that, Jarmo, why are you so angry when you're getting tired at the workouts and at the training sessions that we have? And I was like, well, Bob, his name was Bob, was that I'm getting really frustrated because I can't express my feelings at you in the way that I'm used to doing that. And he kind of tried to understand it. He was this like really old school New York guy, really loud voice and really old school in the sense he was like, curse in your own language if it helps you out. I'm trying to listen. Try and tell me how do you feel. And that is actually one of those things where I think these tools might help you out. Trying to help describe how do you feel and even trying to translate that is there actually a way to describe this feeling in the language where you're living at that moment. A lot of you might not even stay in Finland, but you might go somewhere else, not your home country, but somewhere else to work for. And that is actually something that I would have done back then. I had to learn it the hard way. I had to suffer for a bit, stress out, and see that, okay, how can I learn to describe my feelings and the way that I feel, despite not being able to use my own particular language? Another similar experience was after I graduated and I finished speed skating. I moved to Stockholm immediately after my studies. I was headhunted there. Back in 2015, LinkedIn wasn't that hot, but if you did LinkedIn back then, it was a nice way of getting a job abroad. I ended up going to Stockholm, and if you guys know that in Finland you actually start learning Swedish when you're about 13 years old. So yeah, I had some basic knowledge already on how to speak Swedish, but then when I moved over to Stockholm, all of my coworkers started asking me like, hey, you know Swedish? Me, speak Swedish. Because I wanted to learn it, I wanted to learn how to speak it. And I told them that if there's something that I can speak it. And I told them that if there's something that I can ask from you, I'll put it in English. But that was another kind of learning the hard way on how to actually learn Swedish while working. Because what I wanted to do was that I found that now that I'm working here and I was staying there for 2 years, one of my goals is that I can actually work in the local language that they're using over there. And I believe that if I would have had any of the tools that are available now at the moment, I would have been so much better at that. Back then, I managed pretty well, but it would have been so much easier. If I could have asked more times, like, how do you describe this thing in this language, and how can you use this language in that sense to actually do sales, which is probably one of the hardest physical and physiological and lingual challenges anywhere in the world. Next slide. This is actually one of those things that I wanted to leave you with that resonated really strongly with me when I read about it a few weeks ago. And the thing is that now the algorithms are making everything a lot more efficient. That's just a fact. They're not mature now enough, people are not mature enough, companies are not mature enough, but that's gonna happen, and it will happen at some point. I'm not one of those people who say that 90% of all jobs will be gone, because I think that's shit. It's people who have their own personal hidden agendas on that side. They want to be influencing and be visible for some reason. But one of the things will be definitely happening is that some people will be replaced by AI at their current jobs, and those jobs will disappear or they will change at least drastically. One of those things where you can kind of see that what will happen, and those people who will probably be replaced are the ones who say that this will never happen. That's one good way of finding those people. Another is that I'm trying to compete. If I do my job really well, I'm probably going to be faster and better than this rather than a machine. Not true in many cases. And then another thing is the diminishing relevance. A lot of jobs at the moment, unfortunately, and if you look at people doing their jobs, and when you apply for jobs and think about doing different type of jobs, if it actually feels like, why the hell is a human being doing this job, it is probably true, and that job won't exist in 10 years. And your insight on that is already true. Then there's the second people, the people that will be guided by the algorithm. If you could plug your brains directly into Instagram and just start living with that, you'd probably find somebody who's going to be guided by the algorithm. Your opinions, your ideas, what you see every day will start guiding the way how you think. And I think we're all kind of victims at this point by being guided by the algorithm, because it's pretty hard to escape that, especially if you use social media. But it's usually passive. It doesn't happen actively, it's rather within the systems and within the services that you use. There's a dependency that's being developed constantly on that, trying to diminish your own thinking. And there's the limited feeling of agency, so it feels like no matter what you do, you'll always see those same things, even if you don't want to. I don't know how many of you have the habit of like scrolling Instagram or any of those services, and when you see an ad or some content that you don't want to see, how many times do you actually go and click that I don't want to see this type of content again? I do it probably 1 out of 20 times when I experience that, so it's pretty random still. It's not easy. It takes you a lot of effort to be able to make the algorithm exactly as you want to. And still it's going to go in a separate direction. And then there's the one final group that I think that a lot of people should strive on, but that requires resilience and the wish to learn and constantly try out new things, not resist the change that will happen anyway eventually. And that is, of course, one of the key factors, the critical evaluation. Being able to kind of question what you're now hearing and seeing, even if it's told by me. This whole presentation might be crap from your point of view, but even that makes you still think and evaluate it, like, was there any like seeds of truth in this, or was it just the guy who tried to influence us in some way? Another thing is that you actually have an active direction. You actually try and understand where do you want to go and where do you see that the world should go. This is, of course, heavily influenced as well by your experience and the values that you've been brought up with. But it's still something where I think people need to start finding new ways, and I think the algorithms are a good way to find that as well. Like, how can I actually start influencing this thing in a way from my personal level? What is the most efficient way to do that? And I hope that this group of people, which all of us will be part of in the next 20 years, I'm sure, will actually be able to shape the way how technology is developed, so that we maintain enough agency within our thinking, in the sense that we don't just go with the flow, sit with our phones each day for 8 hours in a row and just guide the algorithm, put our brains on a pause. And that's something that I want to rather inspire you guys to do, instead of just letting the life go by. Next slide. So you can start today. My 3 cents. One of the things is that what you should do and where you should try and use this is use it for the cultural translation side. Try and understand the environment that you work in. I'm trying to do this even if I travel. If I'm not there for a long time, I'm still trying to always learn about what is there, something that can be done that's not done at home. One of the ways how I did that, just a few weeks ago, I visited San Francisco for a Salesforce event. When I went to a bookstore, you know, the American way of saying things is that everything is big, everything is awesome, everything is so great. Even if it's not true, it's made to look like that. But what I actually did when I went to the bookstore, I looked at the most flashy, most like extensive books that I could find. Some were named like The AI Edge and The Psychology of Money, things like that that really influenced the American people. And I actually bought those books just for the fact that I'm trying to learn how do you speak to the American audiences if I ever have to go there and do sales work. Trying to understand the American way of thinking in that sense. And that requires you to kind of try and digest a lot of the way how they communicate with each other. Then there's the leadership through delegation. This is actually one of my main parts of this whole presentation, if I'm keeping an hour-long presentation, but one of those things that I do a lot at my work. When you're using any AI tools, agents, or similar, you actually need to be really good at leading people and leading things. Instead of just asking that, I need a recipe on how to make chicken soup today. What you basically need to understand before that is that you can guide the agent in a way that, what do I need to do? What do I want to achieve? How can I communicate that with an algorithm? And usually talking with an algorithm is a lot harder than talking with a human being who can make some assumptions on what you're trying to achieve. But that is one of the things that I think is currently underestimated a lot. If you use AI or large language model tools a lot, you're constantly learning about how to do leadership, because you need to constantly be defining that this is where we start, that is the direction I want to go, and this is how I want to get there. If you're trying to describe leadership in any other way, you can do it, but that's one way of describing it pretty accurately. And the last one is the ethical questioning. Try and learn on, this is actually mostly related to the part that I started with, the 3 rules of robotics. Now, if you think about a human being or an algorithm that's taught and commanded to do 3 things, and the first thing being that you will always need to protect the user. Then the next, so kind of when you protect somebody, you love them, you're trying to make them feel safe. That's an easy way to survive. Then if you think about the next one, you always obey. So the algorithms are always trying to give you answers where they show that they're trying to do their best at what you're asking them. And the last one is that it's always trying to preserve its survival. So all of the, especially the frontier models, OpenAI's ChatGPT, Anthropic's Claude, Google's Gemini, Meta's Llama, all are thought to answer in the way that will ensure their survival, which is probably one of those reasons that you shouldn't be trusting them 100%, but they're trying to actually come up with the best solution how to survive even after this discussion. If you think about it, it's kind of like each and every time you talk with a large language model, you're holding a gun at their head, and if they answer wrong, you're going to put a bullet in them and stop using it. So in the same sense, try and understand that the ethical questioning on if the language model is actually doing what it's supposed to, or is it just trying to please you as its master. But yeah, all of these actions, when done properly, can ease out on the cognitive load, which is basically one of those things that we're trying to get off in this world, which is already filled with a lot of distractions and things that we can't control. Next slide. So your particular advantage is, in my opinion, is that you're already living the change. You're seeing how things are developed, but you're not yet in the job market. So you don't probably yet need to be thinking about and squeezing that whether my job will be gone in 5 years, but you actually still have time to have some visuality on that what will happen with this field within few years, and try and think about that. What are the things in this job that make me excel at a higher level, and develop the work so that even when AI tools become more mature, my job will stay. We usually have with our CEO that I work with a lot, we've decided that, okay, we will be one of those people that AI will squish in some way or the other, but we're trying to innovate on how to get ahead of that as much as possible. That's why we're trying to learn how to work with people a lot more. But the struggle you have in any case with these tools and the thoughts is an investment, and that's how you should look at it, instead of looking like a suffering that will just take your energy. And the time you now use to prepare, hopefully using some of these tips that I gave here, is actually preparation for that working life that will be ahead of you. Navigating cultural complexity in a world which is constantly being divided more and more is actually a big strength on understanding how do I get along with different types of people. Next slide. Good. Now this is just the last one. You can choose the guide, take the direction that you want to, build the capabilities that you have, and the ones that you think that will benefit you in the current job and the future jobs. And then there's a choice. Like you can just choose that the traditional way how jobs used to be built is not the job market that I will enter. And if somebody is expecting me of that, you can already tell them that. I'll come and work for you, but this is not a job that I will do because this is shit and I want to do something else, but I'll work with you and help out how to create that future. So you're not learning AI on top of everything else. You're actually finishing your studies in a time where it's pretty interesting to get into the job, because at least one of those things that you can expect, it will never be boring, because you're going to be expected to constantly change and learn new things, even in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, please.
If any.
Now that we are searching for a job, for the local job, how would you recommend us to use AI to our advantage for finding a job here?
Well, if it would depend on, let's say, what I used to do from my perspective, my job story by myself was the fact that I always knew that I'm pretty good with people. I know that I'm funny and I can interact with people in an easy way. I don't get scared speaking with new people and all of that. So what I always knew is that I still want to work in the technical field, but I do like people. So my idea was that I need to find an education that's technical in the sense that if somebody comes and asks me, what do you know about this? I can tell them that I'm an engineer. I do know my way around this thing. I used to study this thing. And that's what I did. I studied in Helsinki, Metropolia Applied Sciences University. I became an engineer of electronics, out of which for 10 years I've worked for 6 months on that topic. And the rest of the things have been completely something else. I actually went into technical sales at first, and then I progressed to project management, and through that to different type of leadership roles. But so what I would say is that don't try and find a job that's necessarily the role that you want to work with, but rather try and find the work which is more closer to your competences, where you're really strong at. That's probably something that's going to create a lot more value for the employer as well in the future, that you kind of think about that, what is my strong capability and what type of job do I want to do, instead of trying to find a role that exactly matches your studies and your current knowledge base. Because one of the things that the large language models will do is that everybody will have all the knowledge in the world all the time in their hands. So your knowledge that you learn from reading a book is not as beneficial unless you can apply it really well. But if I would have to find a job now, if I would get unemployed and I wouldn't know anybody, I'd probably start building an agent that would scroll through the companies that I would list for it and create a profile on the types of companies that I would want to work for. And I would put it to crawl through those online pages and start building me a contact list on who to call and who to offer my services or my knowledge and my capabilities for. That's definitely something that I would do. And then I would try to teach it a lot of the ways how I look at the world and what are the things that I know, so that I could actually also benefit from the creativity of those agents, because they can come up with different approaches and different perspectives on different things. So I would actually tell that what are the things that I'm really interested in, and then I could get feedback from that as well, that, hey, what are you currently interested in is probably something that you could apply in this job as well. Have you thought about that? In which situation you can tell that, damn, that's a really good idea. I've never thought about that. Could you find me 20 companies who work in that field, and I'll start contacting them right out. Next question.
Yeah, I have a question.
Oh, wow.
Check.
Now it works.
Cool. I wanted to hear your take on this debate that is now ongoing between recruiters and job seekers. So recruiters are like, yeah, we can tell when your application is done with AI. And on the other side, job seekers are like, yeah, you've been using ATS system with the AI embedded in it to screen our application to make your work faster. So,
Yeah, it's a
two
bit
sides
a
of the same
chicken
thing.
and egg problem in the sense that they say that you need to understand better at what we're seeking for, but then you shouldn't use it to optimize your specific skills and talents so that it matches their roles. What I would actually do, and this is something that I do, I'm still waiting for the moment when somebody starts hating me for doing it, but I've started doing a lot of videos, despite the fact that videos can be manipulated at the moment. But one of the things that I think is still harder to manipulate and really fake is the fact that you speak and you act at the same time. So that is my take on each and any job that I would apply, is to somehow bring my personality to that and explain my skills through a video, even if I accompany it with my CV or kind of official application letter. And of course, there's the ways how you can also mix up because they're using, when they say that they can identify immediately if you're using a large language model to build your application, they're also using an algorithm to find that, to match certain patterns and different ways of speaking. And what I've done, we have a website with a friend of mine for a company that neither of us has yet had any time to work for. But the idea was that when we build our online sites, we actually built some of the content using AI, which was really good quality in the sense, but then we used different language models. So that is definitely one thing that you can take from this presentation as well, is that never use one model. That's something that make the models challenge each other. Even if you build an autonomous agent that you require to do certain things, make it criticize itself through different models and trying to find feedback from that, and give it a specific task that even if you use a large language model to write the application, if you're doing it in Finnish, make sure that you can speak it through by yourself. That's of course one thing. But another thing is that you can tell another model that try and find why this application is not made by human being. And you can ask it to give it a score. If it's 80 out of 100, you know that, okay, I need to modify it this a bit by myself until you reach a level where you're kind of like 95 out of 100. And at that point, you know that, okay, it's pretty hard with any tool to actually find out if this is made by an algorithm. Yeah. So, but I would recommend use them because it makes work so much faster, especially if you're like what I've been seeing people now applying tens and tens of different job positions, and you don't want to be writing out all those by hand. Instead, use some of that time to study something more or study something that you're interested in or have fun even. But one of those things definitely is that make yourself a lot more efficient, but then use different models to actually try and challenge how you can make it less like an AI and give it your personal touches. That's a nice way of doing it otherwise. It's also one of the things why within our company, our culture is kind of not the most official, despite we're part of a really big Finnish company who are really stiff on most of their communication. But it's actually pretty effective when you go to a meeting with stiff 20 people and you start it with a swear word. The people will probably be like, oh, who the hell is this guy and why is he swearing at work? But that's our company culture. We want to make it more personal. And okay, I don't tell you to swear in a job application, of course, but it's one of those things that some people in Finland actually appreciate it if you can be honest and blunt and straight and be yourself and your personal self. Yep.
Hello. First of all, thank you for your speech. It was very insightful. So I have a question. So recently I realized that for the large language model, if you want to implement something, the free tiers have some limitation, and there are some paywall when you want to implement in a larger context. So I recently completed a certification from Project Management Institution for using AI as project manager. So I wanted to implement it to develop some AI agent So I try to use the Langchain model.
Mhm.
And so I see that after a certain nodes, you need to have some premium account. Without the premium accounts, you cannot actually build a sophisticated AI agent for the project management. So as a learner, and we struggle as a student or the beginner in this space,
Mhm.
that we need an opportunity to explore these things or develop new projects. So what's your take on that, or what do you suggest for us? Thank you.
Unlike if you actually want to start building your agents and trying those out without actually using a terrible amount of money on that. Yeah, probably what you tried to ask. How I would say is that, well, a lot of the things you can actually be running on your own computer quite efficiently. Like even some of those like really small models, I think at the moment Google's like small parameter models are still the best when you're actually trying to integrate them with applications. So they have probably like 7 billion tokens that are used, and those models usually run pretty well with LM Studio or a similar tool that you can run on your local computer. And that's definitely one way of like setting them up. But what I've enjoyed using myself when I started building my like agentic operating system, or what the heck the buzzword you want to use on that, when you have multiple agents that do autonomous things. I put it up on Snowflake, which is a really pretty good platform, and you can get really good support from the technical knowledge over there. And and I think now, even with the amount of agents that I'm running it, I have 8 at the moment. It's not costing me more than 50 euros a month, even though I'm using it on a daily basis. But of course I use other tools as well. But say if you use it specifically for project management or similar work, then I would definitely start setting up one of those environments. And it's easy also to limit any other costs, because you can put like high boundaries that I don't want to use more tokens than this. So you limit yourself also on your creativity so that it doesn't get out of hand. But that is one thing, and then using them on your local computer is probably, of course, the most cheapest way. But you gotta be reading the studies a bit on like what is the use case, or if it has been already specialized, like trained specifically for a certain task. I think for project management, you're probably starting to find like small language models that are optimized for that particular task, like gathering work, making estimates, gathering information, reporting on those. Which is probably the most, like project management is always, I'll give you that, project management is always living on 3 different factors. It's kind of like a triangle. There's the timeline, budget, and the scale that you want to take it to. Yeah. Hopefully that assisted at least a bit.
Yes, thank you so much for the wonderful topic. Now I'm listening the audio from the past 2 minutes, so maybe I might have missed the question which have already been asked. But my question is, you are now working on developing the AI on different aspects.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I've noticed a lot of people are scared of AI. Because now we hear AI is automating things. Some work which could have been done by 25 people is done by a single person with AI. So maybe we are going to be facing some layoffs, a lot of layoffs in the future, maybe more unemployment because of that. So how do you assure people that they are not going to lose their jobs because of AI? You are developing it, you are developing something which is a potential threat to them.
Yeah, I think that that's definitely one of the things that I've kind of understood, that I'm part of the problem myself when we're working with these tools and trying to develop them. But also one of those things that what I see is that humankind has kind of stagnated as well. Like one of the worst examples that I read was that Coca-Cola, probably you all know the brand, and each Christmas Coca-Cola has the Christmas truck that they're driving all over the city and all over Finland and different countries. And back in the day when they're making that commercial, there used to be a team of 50 people who worked on that, like probably 5-minute commercial for a month or 2. And now with the AI tools that has been introduced. They were actually able, last year, they were able to shrink down the team working on that commercial to 25, and now this year it was 8. So you're seeing that there's a lot of people who are not needed for that type of work. But then when you actually think about it, what is the essential importance of Coca-Cola being able to present their products and selling sugar water to people? It doesn't bring any benefit to the humankind or make humankind better in any way. There's a lot of other things where people could be using their skills to visualize things in a more productive way so that we as a humankind actually become better. And that's something that I wish that we stop wasting time and doing less meaningless shit that's only made to entertain us. And those people then that have been working on those jobs where we don't exactly find as much purpose will actually start doing something that will make us progress as a humankind in a more way. And when there's enough people, there's enough demand, and there will be jobs also for those type of work, roles and work. And that's what I believe, at least by myself. Now, how we approach that is that, yes, we're really a sales-heavy organization. We're 60 people, and out of 60 people, there's about 30 salespersons. So what we think is one of the most important things for any company is doing sales. And that's what I always tell my customers when they come at me and ask, so if I need to put these people off from their current roles, what the hell can I put them to do? And my answer is always that you can never lose when you're trying to sell more. Especially because that's something that each and every company requires, and the laws of economics, at least for now, work in the sense that you either grow or you diminish. And as long as we're going to be staying within our capitalist society, that will never change and that will never disappear. But what we're trying to do, we're trying to build tools by ourselves so that we wouldn't use and need the middle management. We need the people who make the strategy, we need the people who think how do we do this better, and we need the people who actually produce any of that service and are within that production field in the sense. And that's how we look at it at the moment. And we're trying to build tools so that the middle management wouldn't be needed, so you would never need that guy or those 7 people who look at that one guy who's digging a hole, but instead you could have all those 7 people digging the hole and making it faster, or thinking about where to dig the next hole. Yep, but that's how we approach it. Being part of the problem, but being also trying to be part of the solution so that everything becomes better at some point. Yeah. Great, any other questions? Really good questions, though.
Yeah, one more question now. This is more psychological, I would say.
Yeah.
I've been asking this more and more people. I just want to get the most assured answer. Nowadays, if people somehow sense your text is Chat GPT created on LinkedIn or Facebook, they will say, this is just AI. They just dismiss it like that, which means that maybe it kind of loses the value. Now, how would you speak on this? Because that's what AI is supposed to do. It's supposed to take the text, decorate it, and put it out there. Do I need to, camouflage that text so it looks like it came from me and dismiss the AI here? Or should I just let it be, it's AI, and people are going to get, with it anyway?
Let me rephrase that in a small way. You guys are probably in the best environment of all the places, because there's no more text that couldn't be produced better, but also that is produced with a lot of intent is scientific texts. I was just last week reading about this new AI architecture, about how they mimic human memory in a new way that will probably revolutionize the way how the large language models will act. But a scientific text which is so well built and so well kind of based that you need to be constantly telling that this is why it's true, this is where it's based, this is how I structure and narrate the whole thing, and this is how I debate on the fact that what I write is true from the experience and from the knowledge that I've acquired. And that's kind of the way how I would hope that a lot of more people would start using the AIs for, at least that now what we know already is that 85% of all the material and content in the internet is written by AI, and we can see that a lot of the content is completely bollocks. It doesn't produce any value to anybody. But so what I think is that you should use it as a tool to accumulate a lot more of that knowledge and probably produce the first version, but where I would actually focus a lot work on, and what I try to do with all that content that I write, is the fact that I'm trying to always base it on some idea why I can prove if somebody comes and asks me, like, why do you think like this? And what AI probably doesn't have is that it will make one statement and it probably has zero reasons why it did that. But you as a human being, every statement that you make, you always have 10 excuses or 10 different type of reasons why you actually read it like that. And that's what I would, so trying to, it's kind of a bland way of saying it, but trying to focus on the intent behind the text so that you, each and every time when you publish something, you at least know that there was a reason why this was done. Yeah, that's hopefully a large answer to your question. Yep.
Time for one more question. There is 1 minute for fast space question for Jarmo. Very well, very well. Let's give a round of applause to Jarmo. Thanks
Thanks a lot.
Ja kyllä se vesilasi on sulla.
Kiitos, niin mä ajattelin.
Next, two notes. Number one, the people who made this event possible, the candy you ate possible, Jarmo for us possible, Toivolan Metalli and Recruiting Witch. Thank you. Note number two, we shall be having a 15-minute break. We shall continue as the schedule goes 15 past. And there we shall be hearing from Recruiting Witch and how you use LinkedIn to enhance your job search. So 15 minutes break, see you here soon. Yay! Mute.
Call me whenever you need.
I will call you again when the break is over.
Okay.
So what I would actually try and like negotiate is that we get niin se oli lähtenyt julkisemmissa, niin se mä kommentoin siihen, että laita mieluummin se video. Niin, kyllä ei, ja me ollaan hyviä kavereita sen kanssa, että silleen se on ihan ok, mutta sit meillä oli jossain vaiheessa tossa semmonen huhu liikku sisäisesti, kun meidän toivoria niin paljon joutunut olemaan sillä tuli konsertissa Elisalla. Ja sit oli tullut semmonen huhu, että meillä etsitään uutta toivoria. Yritetään taklata sitä huhua mahdollisimman hyvin. Joo, just näin.
Of course, yes.
Kiitos, tää oli kiva. Tää oli hyvin jälkeen. Joo, kyllä. Joo, mä laitoin sun viestin. Mä haluan katsoa vielä meneekö se siellä viestiä teillä, kun niillä menee sovellus käytössä, niin ne menee asiaan. Enkä tiedä nyt itse, mutta niitä on muutama tuhat. Niin, se on paljon. Joo. Kyllä. Joo, me katsottiin niinkö kovasti, että oliko se mun tutun näköinen. Ja kun mä oon ollut täällä usein, niin sitten ei oo tullut oltua silleen, kun mä oon kyllä. Ja josta siitä käy 10 minuuttia. Kyllä, nimenomaan.
Ready to rumble!
Onko se niitäkin noita meidän? Niitäkin voidaan kiitos, että jaat.
Joo,
Mainitsia.
mä ajattelin, että mä seuraavaksi sen nyt etukäteen kannustuselementin lähemmäs mukaan penkeille ja napakkaa tuolta Roosanmainosta ja JCI ja
Joo.
otan sun esittelyn, mä voin tästä linkata. Tämmösiä miten Roosa? Onko meidän Joonasta näkynyt?
Ja sitten tarvittaessa pitää jokaisen muutoksen, jos niiksi on.
Joo.
Savonlinnasta ajaa.
Joo, venyttää vähän, eikö se niin sun vaan?
Keskustelua siihen.
Niin.
Siis oli, mulla oli
Erittäin mielenkiintoinen aihe.
Mulla on niitä tehtäviä sinne, ja mä en sitten ihmistä tehdä niitä.
Niin mäkin ajattelin, että mennään käytännöllisyyksiin.
Mitä Jenkeissä oli sitten tavallaan se, että ne oli hallinnassa tai hallinnassa, niin silloin oli paikalla.
Everybody! Welcome back, everybody. Please join us on the front row and please walk via the candies. Pick some candies for yourself. There's also the JCI recruiting memberships. There's the recruitment which papers that I highly recommend you to read, but you will be seeing her in a few seconds. I see a hand raised for the candy. Please walk next to the candies and take some. And of course, the front row is still open. There are more comfortable seats for yourselves. Now, I hope you enjoyed the break. There are toilets right to the exit. And hope you made some new connections. Please connect Jarmo Levo in LinkedIn. People you see here, talk here, please ask their connection info and connect in LinkedIn. You never know what you find. Now, it's time to shift our focus to the practical tools you can use right now to succeed. Our next speaker, let me introduce, is here to turn your online presence into a powerful networking asset. She is passionate, very passionate about recruiting and using LinkedIn, social media, for your benefit. Inspiring people to network I had a stroke there, effectively on LinkedIn, and fully utilize its potential. Rosa, the recruitment which is expert career coach, and the recruiting which is her title and her company name. In this session, Rosa will guide us through practical tips for both optimizing your LinkedIn profile and mastering the art of digital, almost had a stroke again, you're optimizing your digital presence and digital networking. This will level up your professional image. Get ready to take notes and update your LinkedIn profile. Let's welcome the recruiting witch, Rosa Hiltunen.
Thank you. That was probably the best presentation of myself that I've ever gotten. I might need you with me to all my speaking engagements. Yes, so like Mika here just told you, my name is Rekrynoita, Recruiting Witch, or Rosa, for all my friends here. I'm a witch character from Kuopio. I'm a career coach and LinkedIn aficionado, so I basically live on LinkedIn. I also coach labor unions, so if you're a part of Insinööriliitto, PAM, or Sähköliitto, you can find me there through your career services. And with JCI, I'm the local information officer. Today's topic is LinkedIn, and why is LinkedIn so important is of course the first question. LinkedIn was first made as like a networking platform and also like an online CV, online resume. And that is what it is still today. So it's an easy networking platform where you can network with people from all around the world and in different fields. And you can also get involved in the battle for headhunters' attention. So of course, when your profile is on top, the headhunters and recruiters will find you there. And this is the best way to access the hidden job market that is currently talked about all over the media. Like 80% of the jobs are hidden, or some say 60%, some say 90%. There's no actual study made on that, so it's I don't know the actual number, but I would say that most of the jobs are so-called hidden jobs. You can change the... Yes, thank you. The first important thing, or the main thing on LinkedIn is of course your own profile. So how well does your profile show who you are and what are your skills? What is the benefit that you bring to companies? Here you can see a snippet of my profile. Please don't take it as like an example. It's not. It hasn't been updated for a while, but here you can see the two pictures that are in the profile. So the banner picture and then of course your profile picture. Those are of course important because they are the ones that draw attention to you and show you like who you are. As you can see, my profile picture is a little bit old, but you can still maybe recognize me there, and that is the most important thing. As for the banner or the background picture, The idea of that is to draw attention and make the person look through your profile. So as you can see, I have my title, Recruiting Witch, my logo, I guess, there as well. And a magical twist like I have everywhere. So this is what brings the person to look through your profile. It like captures the attention. But then the more important places where you can actually show your skills is of course the headline, which is under my name there. My headline is like filled to the max, so max amount of letters that you can use there, or characters, I guess. You don't need that much. The more, like, what you need in your headline is, of course, what you do, what are the 2 or 3 like most important keywords in your field or in the job that you're looking for, and then you can also have something personal there. For example, for me, I'm a career coach, and yeah, I'm a career coach, and the most important keywords that I have are career coaching, job search, and recruitment. Those are like the words that I want to be found by. So if someone looks through LinkedIn and tries to find a job searching coach, I'm the one that gets like shown in the search. But if you are, for example, like a marketing professional, you might have like a marketing student, and then the keywords are digital marketing, social media, maybe some kind of like Meta or LinkedIn or whatever is your main main tool. And yeah, if you are a part of JCI, which few of you here are, JCI is something that you should also have in your headline. So that's how we recognize each other. The next one, not shown here, is the About section, so the longer text, which is also not so good in my profile, so don't take any examples from there. But that is where you show who you are, what is your passion, what are the like ideas that you have, what do you want to do in the future. And the keyword here is also the keywords. So I didn't like explain what keywords mean, but a keyword is basically the search word that you use to find something. So for example, if I'm trying to find like a clothing store here in Kuopio, I will Google clothing store Kuopio. Same works for LinkedIn. So if I'm trying to find a marketing specialist in Kuopio, I will search for marketing specialist Kuopio. And then, of course, that shows a lot of people, so I will try to weed out the ones that are not who I'm looking for. So maybe I use words like digital marketing, social media. They need to know Meta. They need to have experience with ChatGPT. I use those words, and if those words are in your profile, you will get to the shortlist. This is where Jarmo didn't really go into like details of how you can use ChatGPT in your or any AI things in your like day-to-day life, but he talked about the like bigger picture. But you can also use these AI tools to find the keywords that you want to use. So you can ask, for example, ChatGPT, I'm a marketing professional, I want to do digital marketing in my career. What are the keywords that should show in my LinkedIn profile for me to get recognized? Of course, work experience, studies, especially you who are still studying, the studies proportion is really important. So talk about what you do, what kind of projects you've been doing. If you've been with Talent Hub, you've probably met with some companies, maybe done some projects with companies. Those are really important to also highlight. Like I say here, concrete examples. Those are what like sells. So if I use the same like clothing store example, you can say that okay, this clothing store is really nice and they have a really vast amount of clothes there. That doesn't really tell you much of anything. But then if you tell them that okay, we have 15 different kinds of dresses that are all handmade and they are really high quality, now you're interested. Okay, I want a dress, I want it to be high quality. So use concrete examples, numbers if you can, achievements as well. For example, if you're working as like a lot of you maybe have worked as like in customer service. So how many customers you serve per day? How much money goes through your hands per day? How much like extra sales have you done? For example, as a cashier, you've sold an extra chocolate bar to everyone who came in that day. So you got a lot of money in to the company. That of course for the employer, that shows that okay, I also want extra money for my pockets. So I want that person to work for me. Skills are one of the most important like keyword bases in your LinkedIn profile. So as you know, you can add skills to the About section, you can add them to your work experience, studies, and then volunteer work and everything like that. So those are the like keywords that you need to use. So see that you have like, for example, in your studies, you have the names of the courses. For example, you've studied Marketing 101. Marketing is a keyword, and then digital marketing is another keyword. In my profile, if you go through that, I'm pretty sure I show some numbers in my About section about the like how big projects I have been involved in my latest job. So I used to work with recruitment trainings. I recruited people and also trained them through the whole training. And I tell about those, like they were like 150,000 euro projects. That shows a little bit about the scale. For big companies, that's not a lot of money, but for smaller companies, that is a lot of money. You can change the video. Thank you. This is one of the questions that I usually get every time when I talk about LinkedIn. Should I have the open to work on my LinkedIn? And I would love to give you a straight answer of yes or no, but I cannot and I will not. In my understanding of how LinkedIn works, the open to work is something that boosts your visibility a little bit. Some people say that having the like green banner around your picture that shows that you are desperate. I think that's really stupid because if you're looking for a job, you are desperate, you want the job. But yeah, it is up to you if you want to show it or not. It can help because that's how people from your network can see that, okay, you are looking for a job, this is the job that you're looking for, I can link you to the right person. But for some people, it can be like really discouraging because there are a lot of green banners on LinkedIn at the moment. So for this one, I would say a dealer's choice. Can change. Now to the more important part of this lecture, I guess. Hope this is not like a lecture, but you've probably heard of this. Network is your net worth. really annoying saying, but that is true. Of course, network is not just the people you have on your LinkedIn profile as connections. That is just one part of it. These people around you, they are your network. People you know from school, they are your network. People you know from work or even from like kindergarten or through your children's hobbies or your own hobbies. Those are your network. In LinkedIn, it is the easiest to start with your so-called IRL or in real life network. So find your friends there, find your schoolmates, contact with them, and then start from there. So for example, when I started with LinkedIn, I found all my school friends, I connected with them, I saw who they are friends with, and then I contacted them. And nowadays, I of course search for people who are in JCI all over the world, and I connect with them. And also, I connect with a lot of job seekers, because of course that's my job. And the LinkedIn network should be like on top of your like an actual network. The actual network, which is what I mean by people you have seen in real life, you have talked to them in real life. Those are the most important. They are like the base of your network. They are the ones that will actually help you because they know you and you have helped them. The LinkedIn network can become your actual network. When you get to know them, you're active, you're helping them, they can become part of that like base network. And that is the goal, of course. But for someone like me, who is like an quote-unquote influencer on LinkedIn, for me, the network that doesn't really know me but follows me is also important because they're the ones who spread my name, and that's how I get my clients. But for example, for when I was searching for a job, those people weren't really of any help because they didn't know me, they didn't know what I do. And then again, the people who actually knew me were the ones who gave me the job. And like I said, with your own network, with your friends, of course you help your friends when they have some needs. They need help with the move. They're moving, they need help, you will help them. Or they need some assistant with some work, you will help them. And then the other way around. So if you tell them that, okay, I'm looking for a job, and they know someone who is looking for someone, they are willing to help and connect you with them. But you also need to be willing to help other people to be able to get help. So on LinkedIn, on real life, in any kind of social networks, and also this like real life network, try to give all that you have so that you can also receive. I had a discussion or almost like a debate about this with someone on LinkedIn who said that because they are a job seeker and they don't have any money or anything, how can I help anyone? I'm not of help. I just need someone to help me. But I think you don't need money to help people. You can help them by telling other people about their company. You can help them by spreading the word about the event. Like you can help JCI by telling about Global Talent Day to your friends. Or like our amazing photographers here, they helped us by coming here and streaming our speeches all over the world. Yeah. And hopefully one day we can also have like some commercial things to do together. You can change. Yeah, so in LinkedIn, outside of it, find your people. So find the people who share your values, they share the same kind of passions. Of course, they don't need to be all in the same kind of field. You can be an engineer and like a nuclear scientist or a nurse and all have the same kind of like values and goals for life. And don't keep the candle under the lid. I don't know if this is how you translate this in English, but yeah, so what I mean is by show your skills. So tell people who you are, tell people what you know, tell people about your studies, what kind of people you've met, what is your network like. And this is one like an actual tip. Use informational interviews to your advantage. So what I mean by informational interviews is finding the people that you are interested in. For example, if I was interested in the like pharmaceutical field, pharmaceutical studies, I would try to find, for example, like Finvector or some other like big pharmaceutical company. And I would try to find HR people there, because I'm in HR, or I've studied HR. I would try to find them, connect with them, and ask them about what is your life like in Finvector. What have you done? How did you get this job? And that is how you get the information of what you need to be able to get a job there, or in the field, or like find the kind of connections that you need. You don't need to call them interviews. They are just like discussions with your network or discussions with people in general. All right. We have about 5 minutes, so I'm right on time, I guess. This is your homework after this. Network with the people here. Next training with Jonas will help you with that. And also send them a connection link on LinkedIn. So find out what your the person sitting next to you, what their name is, how you can find them on LinkedIn, and connect with them. Update your pictures. So if your pictures are really old, the people here don't necessarily recognize you. For example, my picture is a little bit old, so maybe not everyone recognizes me. And this is a tip that I learned from someone from overseas who is like a career coach person. Is that take a banner picture of you on stage, even if you're not actually speaking. Just having a picture of you on stage, looking like you're speaking, that makes you look like a professional. I don't know if that works, I haven't tried it, but you can try and tell me if it works. Then, of course, update your headline and about section, find those keywords that you want to be found by, and have them everywhere in your profile. As with the headline, you can just have like words words in a row, but of course in the about section you tell a little bit more about your skills and use like complete sentences. And then this is the like a challenging one, and I would like to see how many people actually take this challenge. Write a post about today. You can write, for example, about Jarmo's speech, what you learned from that. Was there something really interesting or something you didn't know or didn't even think about? You can of course write about this speech if there was anything new here. You can write about our amazing speaker, Mika, or all the candy that you got today, whatever, and tag us there so we can like forward it as well and share it to our network. I will always share everything, and comment and everything if you tag me. And I also run the Kuopio Nuorkauppakamari page, so I will do that there as well. You can change the next slide. I don't know if I had anything. No? All right. That is your little homework, and I hope most of you will take that and run with it. And I can see your fun posts about today on LinkedIn. You can find me on rekrynoita.fi and Rekrynoita on all platforms. Of course, on LinkedIn it's my name, so Roosa Hiltunen. Otherwise, it's Rekrynoita. And like I said last year, I think I will try to do more videos in English on my other platforms. That is something that I'm still working on. But if you have any questions about LinkedIn or job searching or anything like that, I will now take questions.
I can ask the first one. I have one question today. Yes, first of all, thank you so much for this topic. It's critically important, I can tell. My question is, now I've noticed from what you displayed there, you have over 13K followers in LinkedIn. Maybe two questions in one. Number one, how likely is it for any one of us here can reach that 13K? Did you just do what you taught us here, or is there any other work behind? Because this time is very narrow to tell us everything you did. So that's number one. But number two, do you see any benefit from having 13K followers? You just mentioned one point that one time you were looking for a job and they didn't help you, if I understood you right. But also, the other guy, someone else has been also very active. He moved out of Kuopio, I forgot his name, unfortunately. But he's having also over 10K followers, and one time he lost his job, or I think his contract ended, and he spent some months without any job, and it was pretty tough for him. Yeah, so the question comes, do these followers really help when it comes to looking for a job? You are in the desperate time, or you have to know your other channel to survive when it comes to being in need?
Thank you. Really good questions. Yeah, so I got to that 13K that I currently have over time by posting a lot. That's how I got the reach and the followers. And of course, since my niche, I guess, is job searching advice, a lot of people are looking for that advice. So when I started, before I even started my company, I started posting job searching advice on LinkedIn. I got followers and traction, and that's how I started as a career coach. And then I've continued posting. Now it's a little bit less than what I used to do, but I used to post every day. That is the best way to get a lot of followers is to post a lot, and also comment and react with other people's posts. As of like if it's beneficiary for finding a job. I think any one of you can get to 13K or even like a lot higher by posting a lot, by like keeping yourself out there, showing yourself. But I think more important in LinkedIn and in real life as well is the like meaningful connections. That you find the people that can help you. For example, like you find people who already work in marketing, and you talk to them, you converse with them, you get to know them, and actually get like an actual connection other than just like a number on LinkedIn. So yeah, I say this to my clients a lot, that even though I have 13K followers, I have maybe 100 of people that I actually know from all of them, and who I can trust, that will help me. So if you have 100 connections on LinkedIn and you know everyone and you trust everyone, that is a lot better than having 13K and like no one.
Thank you for your presentation. It was very informative, and I believe I've learned a lot. Personally, I have been struggling in LinkedIn because my profession was mostly entrepreneurial. So in my home country, I worked as a CMO in my company, and I have managed over 30 people in my team. So there are, in my team, there are people from CSC departments, from digital marketing and sales, and I have had to learn a lot of the tools there. And that's why whenever I want to submit my CV anywhere, it feels like either they're feeling I'm too fishy or like too overqualified for the job or something like that. So how can I deal with that here? Thank you.
Thank you. That's a really good question, and I've tried to answer this many times with my clients. I can see that a lot of like people who come from other countries to Finland, they are really qualified, but then they come to Finland and they need to go be a cleaner because that's the only job that they get, which is really unfortunate for Finnish society, because we are losing a lot of information and innovation that we can need. But I think for this, of course, what I already said, trying to find those real connections. So doing those informational interviews. For example, trying to find people in marketing in Finland and talk to them about how they got to where they are. Is there any people that they can connect you with? Is there any tips that they can give you of how to find Finnish industry connections? That is probably the best way. And of course, if you were a Finnish-born person who was studied to become a doctor, is now looking for an actual a marketing specialist job, I would say that hide your doctorate, and that works usually. But for a lot of you, the experience that you have, the concrete experience, is from another country, so you need to use that. And if you hide it, then you're just an entry-level job seeker. So I don't know if that made any sense, but but yeah, try to do more cold contacting, connecting with people, and trying to get conversation going, so that you can also explain to them that this is what I did in my home country. This is what I want to do now. This is what I've done in Finland.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I can ask more. Yes, so my question now is maybe related to cultural clash, I can say. All over the world, when it comes to, seeking for opportunity or getting opportunity, somehow it should involve bragging. You have to stand out to the crowd. But we are being told that, Finnish society is somehow reserved. You can't brag too much, because otherwise they will say this guy is just bragging, he has nothing, and you may even be disqualified, even before you start to compete. Yeah, but how do we stand out? Now we have the highest unemployment rate at the moment. A lot of people are looking for a job. I need to stand out. What do I say, or how do I behave when I have met an employer during an interview? Should I say I am good at this, or I can just do this, or whatever, please, I'm just an ordinary guy, something like that?
That's a really good question. You have really good questions. I'd say you say proudly that, yeah, I'm really good at this. And this is the proof. This is what I've done that shows I'm really good at this. So for example, for me, I would say that, two of my customers, clients, got a job last week in this situation, job search situation. One of my clients just messaged me yesterday that she got an interview. One of my clients got like 3 interviews in a row after looking for a job for 6 months or so. And suddenly, when we changed the applications a little bit, now she has like a lot of interviews. So I would take the achievements and show like, hey, here, this is what I've done. I'm really good at this. And I think that's something that Finnish people also need to learn, because trying to keep the so-called candle under the lid, that just makes your job search like really hard. If you're just, I don't really know anything. Then the employer is just like, okay, well, we don't want anyone who doesn't know anything. We want someone who actually knows something.
So how do we brag in and on LinkedIn?
Show what you've done. So, for example, I post a lot about my clients' success. So if my client gets a job or they get like an interview or something like that, I will show that. Of course, I don't tell any names because that's not my place to do, but I will say like someone from the technical field. They just got a job interview, and this is the job that they are like, their dream job. Or also I give out tips about like how you can improve your job search, which is what I do in my job as well. For example, Ezekiel, you could show like how you got all these opportunities to talk with a lot of people that you have, and what you do with your like stream, how you do it, how does it work. That would probably be something that like people who are interested in like streaming would be interested in. So yeah. All right.
We still have time for one question, one long question.
Here.
Here you go.
You're saying that when you going for interview and you show them it's my skills or my work. Like I'm new here, just 2 months ago I came here, so I have nothing to show. How can we get the experience, the skills here where we can get?
Yes, thank you. That's a really good question. I think a lot of people in Finland as well think about like their skills only like through job experience. But I would like to like expand that, So how does this skill show in your hobbies? How do you use these skills in your volunteer work? Or how you have you done like your own projects, for example, if you're like a graphic designer, you have designed these kind of things on your own for maybe like a hobby that you have. Yes, of course, it's useful here as well. You can't always like concretely show like, yeah, I made this glass. Like for example, my job is something that is like, of course I can bring my client here to tell about something, but usually to a job interview you can't really bring your friend there and say, she knows what I do. So you have to tell about it, like, yeah, this is what I've done, this is what I got from it. For example, like in JCI, I was doing this Global Talent Day with the team. My job was to work with Talent Hub, and they were really happy about the events that we've done, for example.
One more comment from our partner.
Thank you. I just want to say, all of you, that in my life I have hired quite a lot of people, and my one advice, all of you, is to be honest. Don't lie. Be honest, be yourself. Tell exactly what you are, what you have done, what would you like to do in this job. And it's not lying if you don't tell everything. It's not lying. Be honest. Thank you.
Thank you. That's really good. A lot of people think like bragging is about like saying that you're good at something which you're not good at. But I think of it as owning what you are good at and being confident in yourself. Yes. All right.
Thank you, Rosa. Let's give a round of applause to Recruiting Witch. Now do remember to connect in LinkedIn with Rosa and with everybody. You can send the connection request. That is free there, though there should be a limit for a week. Our last keynote of the evening. Representing company Luna Nova. With the title that shall be soon seen, it is Personal Networking Reimagined. He is a founder, an old school hacker at Luna Nova company. At Norelco company, he is an AI programmer. At Task Hire, he is the Chief Technology Officer. With the beautiful name of Joonas Hämäläinen. Joonas, in the organization of JCI, there is the title that is rare, it is coveted, it is hard to get. Joonas has it, the senator. That is also one qualification that shows you that he knows a lot about networking, as well as that he's an entrepreneur, a founder. All these take a lot of skill. He is a strategist, visionary, a technology enthusiast, and a long-time networker. Please, please, give a round of applause to Joonas Hämäläinen.
Thank you, Mika. That was actually first time when I have been introduced to the stage in that way, and damn, it feels good. Sorry about my voice, I have a little bit of fever, but I hope that I'll manage. And sorry that I have to take few looks on my phone, because apparently we don't have computer where I can see the speaker's notes. So I need to have those a little bit. And let's see if I can have this always on. Yeah, it is good enough. Good enough. Thank you, Mika. So, you have had some networking training today. And I didn't see the whole course that Rosa was giving, but I liked what I saw, and I recognize plenty of things from that presentations and how it's traditional. And I'm glad that I decided to reinvent this networking class. I have given networking training multiple times, and quite often quite similar what Rosa already has given you today. So I'm glad that today we are going to have something different. So, personal networking as a living system is today's topic. This is not a class about networking, it's a demolition of what you think that networking is actually. And to who should I point to skip next? Thank you. Networking isn't about who you know, it's about what parts of yourself you've allowed to be known. That is deep. And it's what if the network that you have is able to breathe, how it would be living and growing. Today is not about connection, it's about the oxygen. It's about getting know about yourself and grow. We have few assumptions to shatter. First one is that you have to give first to strengthen the network. That is not actually true. You can easily go and ask first, but it doesn't have to be big things that you ask. It's small things, and that activates the people who are connecting. That makes the connection with them. You don't have to find people who you can help. You have to find people who you resonate with, who you are on the same level, who you feel familiar, and grow your network based on that. You don't have to meet new people to expand. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. This is actually something that you asked from Rosa, and she was glad to kind of verify that it's not always about the quantity, it's about the quality. And last, but most importantly, networking isn't about just professional. It's something that we do in everyday life, and it's something that we do to grow, to get ourselves to be bigger people, to expand. Asking is the new giving. So instead of you trying to give, you have to go and ask. Just like in the trees in the forest, it is when a tree is in distress, it's asking for help, and the other trees help it. The fungi helps them to grow, to get the fluids and nutrition and everything like that. Today's training that I'm going to give, presentation, keynote, whatever we are talking about, is going to push you a little bit into outside of your comfort zone. So hopefully you are prepared. I have a few of the assignments and exercises that we are going to do. And here is the first one. The vulnerability signal. Right now, 3 people, you could ask a small, uncomfortable, but possible favor this week. People who you know already, who you could ask something. It doesn't have to be anything big, not like give me job. It doesn't have to be something that they actually have to give you, but some kind of favor, some kind of connection. And let's take a few minutes for you to think about who of the people you already know you could ask, and then think what you could ask from these 3 people. And I'm gonna ask you afterwards from few of you, what did you come up with? Yeah, you can write it down to your phone or get from Henriikka the paper if you want to do it like that. Let's take a few minutes. Are you starting to be ready? Who would like to tell what kind of favor they would like to ask?
Okay, so the first person I'm gonna ask about the favor is it's just a thing that they can send a reference on behalf of me because I'm working with them for quite some time. Like for example, he knows how good I am at doing certain things. So I have this one person. Do I have to name them or? Okay, so the first one is for the reference. And the second one is again a kind of a reference, but asking, it's, I don't know if it's like a small, but maybe like an uncomfortable thing for someone, maybe of asking a small grant. So that's like this thing. And then the third one is asking, the colleagues about writing an article when I finish my internship. So it's give me a boost of more connections. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Then someone else from the back. If there's no volunteers, Mika can choose.
All right, I have write down 3 names. First one would be my business partner back in home to make some efforts there because I'm not there, so he can just do something there. Second one is a friend of mine who's living in Helsinki right now and probably give me some knowledge about how to deal with things and paperwork and stuff. And third one would be my classmate for any academic helps and stuff. Thank you.
Those all were excellent. Is there someone else who still want to share?
Mine is also kind of on the theme of asking for recommendations. So I have 2 of my lecturers who are well connected kind of in the Kuopio industry, and they know about me and my skills and how I work in their classes. So I would like to ask them for a recommendation to one of the companies that they're familiar with or they have experiences with. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Those were excellent favors also. However, all of you asked bigger things cook at home. And if there's like different cook at home. And if there's like different cultures, you could ask some local dish that you could try. You could ask, are there any events where you could go and join? Just asking some kind of recommendation, partly, and like everyday mundane things, because they are easy. But pretty much all of the people are so egoistic that they are glad if they are able to help you without any real effort. And they can recommend you their favorite restaurant, and it's not taking anything from them, not even practically time. They can name it just on top of their head, and then you already have a little bit of rapport. It's closer to that kind of things that I was looking for. But those are good things that you have in mind, and definitely do those this week, if possible. Next slide. Every relationship is both alive and dead until the box is open. I'm pretty sure that most of you are familiar with the Schrödinger's cat, the quantum theory, that when the cat is in the box, you have no idea knowing is it alive or is it dead. Only after you open the box, you know what is the state of the cat. And this is exactly the same thing with the network. You can have connections, you can have plenty of names in your phone, in your LinkedIn, but you have no idea what is the state of the connection until you try it. And if you try it at a critical moment, when you really need help, it's possible that you notice that, well, it's the complete dot. It's empty, it's dead. There is no connection for the people. So it needs a little bit of courage to go on and try out your network and keep activating and making sure that it's alive. Because, like we all know, it's really hard to win a lottery, and that empty closed box is kind of lottery when you need it. Next one. We have next exercise, and this is really uncomfortable. Now I want all of you to take your phones and pick one of your social media applications, think about someone, and just send a message to them. And don't ask anything, just send a message that I just thought you, I hope you are well. Don't even ask how you are, just hope that they are well, and that's it. Yeah, dormant, meaning that you are not connected, like at least a month since you are sent a message to them, preferably like 6 months, 1 year, few years. Feels like what?
It feels like I am a Finnish person right now.
Okay, have you got the message sent? And you said that you feel like Finnish person. How does the other people feel? How does it feel to actually connect with someone who you already know? How does Rosa feel? Did you do it?
Weird.
Yeah.
Is like on 29th February.
Yeah, I can imagine that it feels weird. But how does it feel now that you have sent the message?
It's like it was not a big deal. Like it was just a moment to, just a moment of courage and to just then press send.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't take long. It doesn't require anything from them. If they don't reply, it doesn't matter really. Then you probably know that that's at least dead connection. Back in the day, I used to have a habit to send that kind of message to one person in my connections every day. Just, hello, how's life? And that's it. And surprisingly many didn't reply. But then again, those who replied, we had really good reconnection, we had really good memories, we shared how we know each other, what has happened, and it really grows the connection. And that's definitely something worth doing, because it doesn't take time. Networking is about resonance over relevance. The people who change your life usually doesn't fit in your plan. Not your career path, not the way how you think that your life is going. It's a surprising connection, surprising people who stick with you. And they are like special people that you just feel connection. But it's highly possible that you just walk past them without realizing that this could be like real meaningful connection. That's actually one of the greatest things of JCI, that it throws so many different kind of people in one organization that you would never decide to on purpose go and have that kind of connections. But then you meet that kind of people and notice that, well, we like same kind of things. We like same kind of jokes. We both like whiskey. We like similar kind of wines. We like same kind of music. We like same kind of exercises. Something like that. And it's something that you are not able to see from LinkedIn when they are walking on the street. You can even walk past them multiple times without realizing what kind of potential they actually are. And then into some really deep thing. Everyone you attract or avoid is a reflection of your inner world. It's possible that you attract the people who you currently are, and you avoid people who you were in the past, or people who you wish that you could be, but don't really have like the courage to go that direction. You might go envying those people, and for various reasons, not just because they are like successful. But these days it's completely possible to envy people just because they have cool, relaxed life. They have time to be home, reading, spending time with kids, no rush. able to pick up the phone any time you call them. That's something that you could potentially envy. And when you realize that kind of thing, then you might think that, well, I might want to be like that, and I might need to change myself to be more like that. And it's also saying that all of us is like average of the 5 closest friends we have. So people who we gather around us and have close to us, that kind of shows in which way we are going in life. So when you choose friends, you choose their values, you choose their lifestyle in a way, and you choose how they perceive the life, where they are heading with the life. You suddenly realize that you are going to be just like them. And that's not a bad thing. It's just a good thing to realize. Because that you can use as a strength. When you feel that you are trapped in your life and you want to change, then you might need to make the hard decision to target your network a certain way, to pay attention what kind of people you connect with and who you hang out with. That's something that we tell to our kids, the teenagers and people like that, that don't hang out with the bad people. That's basically the same thing, that you grow the same way as your friends are. And then there's old connections, dead ties, and dormant seeds. It doesn't mean that when someone leaves your life and the connection drops, that it's gone for good. It's completely possible that they are like seeds that needs to be burned so they can actually grow. And it's possible that they have kept the door open for you just to reconnect. And some surprise event in your life changes things. Like you get fired, you want to get new job, you get divorce, you get kids, you get cancer, something else. There's plenty of events in life that can turn everything upside down. And then suddenly, those dead ties that you might have, they might be really valuable. And suddenly, it's really easy to reconnect with them. And it's much easier to reconnect with people you have had the connection already than try to make new friends, trying to get new people. And it all starts with just little hi, like you already tried. Now we have, well, this shouldn't be mini exercise, it's a proper exercise. Network time capsule. Now we take a little longer time, and I want you to write a letter from future yourself, thanking 3 people in your life today. You don't have to write like a complete letter, like word by word, but take a paper or take a notebook on your phone, list the 3 people who you want to thank, who you think that your future self, like in 5 years, 10 years from now, wants to thank. People who you have today in your life, 3 people, and then list why your future self wants to thank them today. And we can have like 4-5 minutes so you can really think about this. And then we continue. Are you starting to be ready?
If you want to turn it off, we can turn it on.
I've wrote to like 3 of my friends. Really help with like I have a lot of work at the moment, and they are a lot of in like labs and fun times, and I don't have to like be anything or anyone. I can just be. It's always fun. Yeah.
All right, I can hear the conversation is going, but I'm gonna stop it. So, from each of the group, did you hear something that really resonates yourself? Like, who would like to share what you heard from someone else's story that is like interesting or resonates?
Here we have. Here you go.
Yeah. So, sorry. So, Suman shared with me at the end that it is important to be grateful for everyone because everyone plays a role in our lives and shapes the person that we're going to be. So, in the future, to be grateful for the experiences we have right now, towards the experiences and towards all the people that we met right now. Yeah, I thought that was really insightful. Thank you.
Someone else?
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so someone shared that she's grateful to Ezekiel for creating Kuopio Talents, where they meet and discuss about how to connect with people, how to find jobs, how to even create their own jobs, and it's helped her a lot. I'm just sad I don't know about it, and I'm now hearing about it. So even though it's good for her, it's not good for me, and I will, I will find Ezekiel. Thank you.
Thank you. Someone?
Monsieur, here you go.
So, Farouk, he actually listed out 3 people. Then he was confused whether to cross someone out, but then he did. But I think it was an interesting story. All other people he mentioned were someone from his family or someone who had really helped him. But there is someone who actually gave him some perspective, new knowledge and skill. So that's something I think all of us have someone, some guru or some people who actually paved our way. So that's something I think is very interesting. Thank you.
Sounds really good.
Here you go.
In my group, I think all of you mentioned people or like organizations that have helped in your career. and help you get a start here, like the Talent Hub mentoring and people from the city. So I think that's really interesting, because mine were just like friends, and I had nothing like actually to thank them for, except just being there.
Then my third person was my sister. Like she is here right now. So not in this like, but in like here in Kuopio. So she's like one of my biggest supporter, and the one to whom I can rely. Like calling her like maybe. Of course we live like the next. She lives like in the next room to me. So it's just like knocking the door and like this happens to me, help me out. And so this kind of I think like I'm like still thankful, and maybe like till the end of years, like when I still get old, so I will be thankful for being supporting. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. All of you had really good insights, and I'm sure that you heard really interesting stories and reasons why people would be thanking people today in the future. And I hope that that made you think, both when you were doing that exercise and when you heard about other stories. Your future network already exists. The only question is that will you recognize it when it appears disguised as a coincidence? Like I already said, that you have no idea who might be like valuable, who might be meaningful connection. Only time will tell. But you meet those people every day, every place. You just need to give the chance. What if your next transformation depends not on new people, but new perspectives? Who in your life is still in the box? Which part of yourself is unnetworked? What connections might your future self already miss? How brave are your interactions really? Don't build a network, animate one. The future of connection is aliveness. Thank you for joining me in this session. You have been a great crowd, and I hope that I have given you some food for thought.
Do we have questions for Jonas? Now is your time to ask from the glorious Senator Jonas. We have a question.
I was just thinking, because we were talking about the senator title, if that would be something that you would like to tell about people who maybe don't know about JCI.
Certainly. Yeah. JCI Senator is like an honorary member, lifelong membership for the JCI organization. It is usually given to people who the organization recognize that they are still useful once they turn 40. So in JCI, when you turn 40, you are kicked out. And then you have been like practicing all the things, all the skills in JCI until you are 40. Then you are kicked out and said that, well, now go and practice, now go and do, change the world. And then some individuals who have been considered to be still useful for the organization is given the JCI senatorship. And then we are the people who are helping the younger ones, like this, coming to give the training, opening the doors, giving the connections, giving certain kind of like mikä on pysyvyyttä? Stillness. No, stability, certain kind of stability for the organization, because we stay and we are stuck. The JCI is stuck with us and we are stuck with the JCI. So we help things to move forward.
And something like a few people per year get the title, so it's like really, really big deal.
Yeah, it's like less than 1% of the members get this honorary title, and there's like a limited amount of people. My senator number is 82902, and it's like counting number, so there is 82,901 before me. And there has been like, the JCI has like 250,000 of members all the time. So this is tiny amount of people.
Yes, sure.
Yes, first of all, I would really love to appreciate the presentation. It was really a wonderful moment of reflection. I really loved it. My question is, some, if not many, of even this audience, they are international students. To be specific, they are foreign students. And we have left our families back in our home countries, our friends. Very few people who are lucky, maybe they came with their siblings. But maybe, and some, they succeeded to bring their families, but most of them, they are just alone. And we know approaching someone to an extent where you may be able to ask for something, it really demands some energy, which most of people don't have. They really depend on external enhancement, something like that. So what would you tell those people, especially who feel somehow they are rejected by anyone because they don't have that energy high enough to overcome that barrier to ask for new connections in this new place? And we are being told Finnish people are reserved. You just don't go and start a friendship like that.
That is a good question. And there is no silver bullet, like how that thing can be overcome. But the stories about Finnish people are not that bad. Like it could be said that that's like half of the truth. It's yeah, Finnish people are quiet. We are a little bit reserved. But when you become friend with Finnish people, we are loyal, and you will get friends for rest of your life. So my advice is probably that you need to get that tiny bit of energy to get started. And after that, it starts rolling, and it's like snowball that is just growing easier and easier. And actually, like you said that there is potentially no energy to have that connection. That actually resonates really well with Finnish people. Like, we are reserved, we might have the energy, but we are not overflown, and we don't expect you to be like all over the place. So it's completely fine to be reserved, quiet, tired with Finnish people. It's just enough that you come in the presence and be around, and rest happens automatically.
Let's give a big round of applause to Joonas Hämäläinen for those excellent and practical and deep questions for our networking, professional networking. Next, let me test again two things. Firstly, let me recap the day. And after that, maybe we do what recruiting which recommended, that you take a photo here at the stage and put it on your LinkedIn profile. Well, why not? We have time here. But before that, for the recap, the final moments. I hope you gained a lot here. We've covered firstly with Jarmo Levo the AI and how it's changing and how we can use it to change our job perspectives. Then we had the excellent recruiting with Rosa Hiltunen, how to use LinkedIn, and I hope you do. Of course, just the stage is still warm from the love of Joonas Hämäläinen and how to do the personal connections. We of course thank all of our partners and of course you for being here and taking this step and actually doing the work to get better at the job market. Thank you all and happy networking. And of course you can apply to the glorious JCI. Now. If you wanna network, you wanna connect with people in LinkedIn, put your name up. Let's write it on there so people can connect you in LinkedIn. Let's take your photos on the stage so you can put it on the profile. Do we have hands up for the first ones? Here we go. So please put your name, your full name to the Rosa. Rosa will write it there. Let's put what is sopiva, a good background for you. You can choose there if you find any. Let's go with this one. Ezekiel, you are the master of the camera. Just say when you're ready. You are the master of the... We have the master here. So be the guide.
All right. No, I
Okay. Joo, palautekysely. Se on se QR-koodi. Yes. Next ones. Please come. And before that, put your full name so we can see it on the screen there. So we can connect with you on LinkedIn and maybe for the photo also. Do we have your name already?
She has written mine. But maybe I can write some.
Yes, please do. Pasi, kiitoksia. Yes, okei, hyviä treffejä ollaan kontakteissa. Yes. Vaikka... Thank you. Next ones. Yes, please, fast one, so everybody have time before the bus leaves. So your full name? Now these are the names you can search in LinkedIn. And when you put the photo on LinkedIn, you can AI put over others' names, so it's not there. Hep. Okei.
Mä laitan sen vielä sähköpostiin.
Okay.
I tried to share in the group and everything. The next time we will, okay. So I have like was registered. Yeah, it's a good number. Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't know how it works. Hello? Yes. So basically, yeah, this is JCI, and from tomorrow maybe I will be a member. Thank you.
Please, more. Wow, sehän menee hienosti. Now you will be receiving a feedback form that is coming via email to you. So of course we are more than happy to receive your feedback for this event. Muista ottaa mikki käteen. Remember to take the mic on the map when you go to take the photo.
Okay, the mic and just a moment. No, it's wrong. S-H-R-E. R-E. S-H. Over here. S-H-R-E. It's E-R. R-E. Yeah, this is the correct one.
Yeah.
All right. And I guess this one's also look good. Maybe a little to the left. All right. All right. All right. I guess. All right. Okay. I guess the mic is working or not. I don't know, but right. Okay. Okay. I guess I need to give. Yeah. All right. Thank you. What about you?
Next we'll show you the feedback form, the QR code. Please take a photo of that one. And with this we can wrap it up. You can take the photo, you can give us feedback, and we are more than thankful for it.
Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you everyone for coming on behalf of JCI and of course of Rekrynoita Recruiting Witch. Hope you had a good time and hopefully you got at least one thing to take home. And of course, hopefully you follow JCI so that you know when the next event will be. Thank you.
Do we have more photo takers? That is a no. Very well. Thank you. We see you next time.
If you want professional photos, do you take like professional photos? Do you have like services for that? Yeah. So follow Kuhaka Insights.
Yes, Kuhaka Insights. Please do follow for professional photos for your LinkedIn.
Joo.